In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Gravitas BiFrost fountain pen. I'll go over the specs, I will do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this pen coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. This is the Gravitas BiFrost fountain pen. This is a collaboration between Figboot, the fountain pen reviewer, and Gravitas. And as far as Gravitas, the company goes, this is the first Gravitas I've ever had. It's the second one I've experienced. I'll talk about the first one. But to my understanding, these pens are made in China, designed by Ben Walsh in Ireland, and distributed by Pen Venture in Romania. So it's a real international affair here. This is, I hate to say this is not one of their better looking pens. They make stuff that looks really cool. I'll put a couple images on there just of what their more normal looking pens look like. This one, I don't really love it. And to be honest, I'm gonna let this pen go. The reason that I got it is my friend bought a couple of them and I've been wanting to try a Gravitas pen. So I said, yeah, I'll take it. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, this is pretty ugly. So anyway, they make a lot of really good looking pens. I also think that the previous Figboot collaborations, the ones that he's done like with Leonardo and Montegrappa, have been very good looking pens. This one was just kind of an odd miss for me. But anyway, getting on, let's talk about the pen. It is like a pointy torpedo shape. It kind of reminds me of like a bullet where you have the projectile and then the casing. It's not quite right. The other thing that it also kind of reminds me of for some reason is like an earthworm. I don't know. It's just something about this just isn't quite right for me. It's frosted polycarbonate. It has a threaded cap and it's a pretty smooth threading. It feels pretty nice. Sometimes it doesn't always catch perfectly, but it seems like these pens are pretty nicely machined. We have all the metal trim on this pen is PVD coated. It's a rainbow PVD coating. And then this is like a very finely ribbed grip section. It feels really nice. And then we have a number 6 nib. Now, I don't know who makes these nibs. It's been suggested that these are made by Jinhao in China. I have no idea. However, my understanding is that they, for the most part, have threaded housings that will accept number 6 Yovo nibs, so that is really, really good. We have just a very plain looking nib with the Gravitas logo. It is that rainbow PVD coating, which is kind of neat looking. Plastic feed, nothing too special there. The grip section does taper and before flaring out towards the end. Very comfortable. The weight of this pen is all, in that grip section. So it's, I don't know if I want to call it well balanced. It's all nose heavy, but that makes it very, very comfortable. Another interesting thing, it's standard international cartridge and converter. They went to the effort of doing that rainbow PVD coating on the converter, so I think that is a really nice detail. And I mean, it was a good thing that they did that because you can kind of see it through the body, but normally I don't see trim matched converters, so I think that is quite nice. The pen does not post, just part of the design there. Let's do some measurements. Looking at about 150 millimeters even, about 136. I can't post this. And then in terms of the grip section here, widest point, it is a nice big grip section, by the way. 12 millimeters, and then right before it flares out, 10.8. Very comfortable size, 30.1 grams. Now, interestingly, I'm curious just to see how much of it actually is the grip section here. 22 grams. So yeah, it's all right there as you would expect because it is metal. And threading this is a little bit annoying. Okay. Now with the cap, 36.5 grams, it's got a nice weight to it. It has a solid feel to the pen. Let's do some comparisons here. Here it is with a Mont Blanc 149, a Aurora Optima, and a Vanishing Point. That is one thing, there is no roll stop on this, there's no clip, so it will roll on the desk. You got to be a little careful about that. But it's a good full-size pen, very comfortable, big grip section, so I do really like that. For the writing sample, I'm going to be using a Papermine Tomoe River hardcover notebook. These notebooks are excellent for fountain pens and for Blake's broadcast. Viewers and subscribers, you can get 10% off with code BB10 at checkout. Okay, this is the Gravitas BiFrost. And this is a broad nib, and this is Sailor Ink Studio 123 ink. And fast writing. Zero performance issues. I do think that this nib writes a little bit dry. It's a touch on the dry side. I also think that for a broad, it's not the most smooth. It's not that it's scratchy, it's just not quite as buttery smooth as a lot of other broad nibs are. And I will say it is maybe on the finer side for a broad. Like if I compare it to let me grab a medium nib here. This is an Aurora Extra Fine. Okay, yeah, that's definitely finer than that. Here's that Moonman P136. It's very similar width to that. I guess it's a touch. It is broader. It just doesn't seem particularly broad, but I suppose it is a proper broad. In terms of flexibility, this is really a nail. I don't think you're going to get anything out of it. Reverse writing, yeah, it's pretty smooth for reverse writing, and you do get a little bit of a difference there. So I would say this is a decent candidate for reverse writing. Overall, there's no performance issues with the nib. It's a little bit dry for my taste, but other than that, it's a nice writing pen. So what are my pros and cons for the Gravitas BiFrost fountain pen? Well, I think this is a very comfortable pen with the metal grip section putting the weight towards the nib so you can write for a very long time. It's very comfortable. It has a very unique look to it. I also think that for $129, you have a pretty nice, affordable fountain pen here with a unique look. I also like that the nibs are threaded such that you can put Jowo number 6 nibs onto the pen in case you don't like the Gravitas nibs. So just having that extra flexibility is really nice. I also like the attention to detail such that we have a converter that even has this rainbow PVD finish. I think that's a really nice touch. Now, in terms of cons, I do think this isn't a very good looking pen. That's the biggest negative for me. I also find that the threading sometimes doesn't catch very well, such that you kind of have to unscrew it and screw it back together. Don't like that. Doesn't give me necessarily the most confidence that this is going to last, forever. The nib, it's on the drier side. This is the second Gravitas I've experienced. The first one I didn't even do a review of because I just really didn't like the nib. And my friend who bought 2 of these and sold me one, he got a fine nib and it didn't work for him at all. So the nibs are maybe questionable. Now, this is a very small sample size. Not sure if they're Jinhao nibs or what, but I think there is a non-zero chance that you'll get a bad nib with one of these pens, or a nib that's maybe not up to the standard that we're used to with Jowo and Bach nibs, as well as a bunch of other wonderful nibs that we use. So just I would keep that in mind. They are sold out. I believe there's only 200 of these made, so they are all gone. This one I will be putting for sale soon, so keep an eye out for it if you want one of these. But that's pretty much it. Do you guys have this pen? Do you like this pen? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.